Hello everyone, I hope you all are doing well. Once again, I am here with all of you to share my math topical video, and today's topic is rounding the numbers. In this video, the content I'm gonna cover is what is rounding and why do we need it. The third point, which is how to do it, will be explained in the second video. So my main focus for this video will be on these two concepts: what is rounding of numbers and why do we need it. Now before we start jump into this topic of rounding the numbers, understanding its meaning and explanation, some basic terms are there which we must understand in order to do this concept of rounding. Now the first basic term which we need to understand is a whole number. Basically the counting numbers including 0 are called whole numbers. So if I'm writing 0, 1, 2, 7, 80, 92, these all are whole numbers. In other words, we can say whole numbers are the numbers without any decimal part or without any fractions also. Okay. On the contrary, the second thing is decimal numbers. As the name suggests, decimal numbers, the numbers which has a decimal part as well. Meaning, for example, I'm writing I'm writing here a number 73.4. So this number is a decimal number because it has a decimal point. Here this number has two parts. One part is 73, that is the whole part of this number 73.4, and the another part of this number is 4, which is a decimal part. Okay, so we need to understand what is a whole number and what is a decimal number. Next comes the knowledge of tens, hundreds, thousands, 10,000s and so on. Because this concept of rounding we started from like year 2, year 3 and so on. So all the terms must be known in order to understand this concept. So we must know what is the concept of tens, hundreds and thousands. So when I say the numbers are in tens form, that means we can write them as 10, 20, 30 and so on. The numbers will be like this. When I say hundreds, the numbers will be 100, 200, 300 and so on. Same is for the numbers in thousands. Okay. Then we should also have the knowledge of tens, hundreds and thousands. This part is required for year 4 and onwards. It's not tens, it's tenths. It is showing the fractions like 1/10 or 2/10 or 3/10 like that, or we can say it is like 0.1, 0.2 and so on. So we must have the knowledge of decimal numbers, like what is the meaning of tenth, what is the meaning of hundredth. Let's say if I'm saying 100, so that means 1 over 100, or in decimal form I can say 0.01. Because rounding concept, we use it to round the whole numbers as well as to round the decimal numbers. So we must understand these all terms in detail. Once we understand these concepts, now we come to the definition of rounding. Basically, what is the process of rounding? Rounding is a process to make a number simpler but keeping its value close to the actual number. For example, 73 is a number. When I apply the process of rounding, it becomes 70. So 70 and 73, there is a difference of just 3. But if I need to remember the numbers in tens like 70, 80, 10, 20, it's easy as compared to remember the 5 numbers like 73, 45, 99 and so on. So rounding makes the numbers simple, but again keeping its value close to the actual number. Now the second thing comes, why do we need rounding? We understand it in this way. For example, I am going to buy few items and I bought the 3 items, and I just want to make sure if I have enough amount of money with me to buy these items. So the first item's cost is $3.95. Second item's cost is $1.95, and the third item's cost is $0.90. All of these are the decimal numbers. This is money, and money mainly deals in the decimal numbers. Now if I have to estimate actually what I have to pay, not exactly but just I have to make an estimate, I need the help of rounding. What I am gonna do, I will see that if I have this first item's cost as 3.95, when I will apply the process of rounding to make it simple, it will become $4. When I have this second item's actual value as 1.95, when I will round it up, it will be $2. And then the third item is 0.90. When I will round it up, it is $1. It's easy to use these values and add them up or subtract them for various purposes. So if I have to estimate the total cost, I have rounded up each item. Now I can add them very easily. $4 plus $2 plus $1, that is $7. But if I have to actually add them, it's gonna be 6.77, and I need a paper pen to add them. Alright, so what happened here, when I rounded them and when I added them, I got an estimate. Oh, I have to pay almost or approximate $7. I can decide whether I can pay this or not. Okay, now sometimes when we do rounding and estimation, we misunderstand that the two terms are same. It's not like that. The two terms are not same. When you estimate, you guess the actual number. When we estimate, we just guess the actual number. We are not given this actual cost. I am just guessing based on rounding each value. So this is my guess. 7.00 is my guess for the actual number, while when I round off a number, I know the actual number. I got this rounding value 4.00 because I knew the actual value, and that actual value I round up depending upon the process of rounding, and then I can count or I can use it in different ways. Okay, so estimation, we do not know the actual value, we guess it. But in rounding, we know the actual value and we make it simple for the different reasons. I hope this is clear. What is the meaning of rounding the numbers? What is the pre-required knowledge for it, and how, not how to do it, but why do we need it? In the next video, I will be discussing about how to rounding the numbers to the different like for example, how to rounding the numbers to tens, to hundreds, to thousands, and so on, as well as we will learn about how to rounding the decimal numbers. I hope this video is helpful. Thank you.